Hey, in this video I'm gonna show you how to start using MDB 5 using MDB Go CLI. We're also gonna cover much more about what this tool can do. In the previous video I showed you how to start using MDB 5 with the zip file, which seems to be the simplest way, but this is definitely not the most convenient and the most powerful. So in this video I'm gonna show you how to initiate the project, then we're gonna build sample project, and then we're gonna publish it to the web. So without further ado, let's get started. So in order to start using MDB CLI, what you have to do, you have to have Nodejs installed. So navigate to nodejs.org, download the latest or the current version. At the time of you watching this video, download the recommended version, install it, and what it does, it install you an npm. So once you install it, you will be able to type npm-v in your terminal. I'm using Windows, so this is like the CMD, and you should see the current version of your npm. Obviously I have npm installed, so I didn't do that for you. If you don't have it, just click download and install. It's pretty straightforward. Now once you have npm installed, it's very easy to get MDB Go, because what you have to do is either navigate to mdbgo.com and copy this simple command, or you can just type it by yourself. So npm install -g mdb-cli. Hit enter, it's gonna install. As I said, if you click here, it's gonna copy, so you have this in your clipboard, you can paste it. Boom, just 3 seconds and MDB Go is ready for you. The final step you have to do is to create an account either on mdbgo.com or mdbootstrap.com. If you have already account on one of this page, you can start using this. If you don't have this, then simply just register. You should see the register button over here. Let me do it in incognito, mdbootstrap, for example.com, and you should be able to see this login or sign up over here, and then register with just these few fields. If you don't want to, you can also do MDB register, and it's gonna ask you a few questions and create account for you. Let me just remind you, it's absolutely free. So account is free and CLI is free and hosting is free. So I strongly encourage you to give it a try. Once you have account, let's log in. MDB login, provide your username and password. And once you're logged in, just type MDB init, and you can choose from different options. As you can see, we have like backend starters, frontend starters, WordPress starters, and so on. We are interested in MDB 5 today, and we're gonna go for a React version. So MDB 5 React, hit enter, and in no time you're gonna get your starter ready. So navigate to this MDB, or actually I did it in the wrong place. So I'm in here, see users MDB. So let's go here and let's search for this MDB 5 React. Here it is, and I'm gonna open this with Visual Studio Code. Now, small remark here, mdbootstrap.com. Let's go to CLI. So this is a list of supported terminals. So basically all the default terminals are supported. If you are on Windows, CMD will work. If you are on Mac OS, then terminal will work. If you are on Linux, then basically all the consoles should be working fine. Now I'm gonna close it up. I'm gonna close this one up, because within Visual Studio Code you also have command line over here. So let's start with npm install. So that's gonna install us all the dependencies, and in the meantime let's navigate to docs. So we are looking for the MDB React version, and let's start with navbar, because this is the very first component we're gonna use. Let's wait a few more seconds for this one to finish installing all the dependencies. Once it's done, we're gonna type npm start to start our local server, to start building our application. This is ready, so now npm start, it's gonna start our development server. So this is the starting page for MDB 5 starter. Now let's have a look at the files. Here we have source, we have an app.js, and so this is our main component. So let's create a new folder. Let's call it components. And inside this, let's create a new file and call it header.jsx. Okay. So let's go to components. I'm gonna copy this entire code here and I'm gonna paste it over there. Now what we have to do here is a small alignment, so we're gonna call it header export default header. Okay, now within app.js, let's import header from components header. Okay, let's get rid of this one. And now let's use my just header. It's a self-closing tag, I guess. And let's check the result. So this is our header, our navbar. Let's work on it now for a second. So what we want to do, we would like to have this not taking the full width. So we will change this container fluid option. So we're gonna get rid of this fluid, and now it will just it's gonna add these margins from the left and from the right. Now let's change the color. So as you can see, you have this color over here. So let's check colors docs. Let's close this one. As you can see, you have predefined colors within MDB, so you can use this like primary, secondary, and so on, or you can adjust them. So you can easily customize MDB with your own colors. So you can set up your own scheme. And what is cool is that since you are using just these classes like primary, secondary, and so on, it will automatically update them in the entire project. So if we do warning, let's say, this is gonna change color to the warning one. I'm gonna change it to, let's say, white. Okay, so this is what it is. Now let's add some main part to our. So we're gonna build the body of our page. So I'm gonna get back to app.js, and what I want to do here is I want to add main. But obviously this is not gonna work, so we need to change it slightly like this. However, it will complain that we need to have just one surrounding element, so we're gonna use React fragment for that. So we're gonna wrap everything around React fragment, and this should work now. So this is our main part. Let's see, now it's working fine. So we have this React fragment, we have this header component, then we have our main part, and then we're gonna have a footer at the end. Okay, let's use grid now. So navigate to grid docs. So here we have examples of how to use a grid. So this is a very basic example, for example, okay, you know what I mean. So this is with the three column of the same size. I want to actually use something like more like this one, because I want to define the size or actually the breakpoint for a different column. So let me copy this one, and we're gonna just get rid of all the part we don't need in this. So this is it. We need to import container, container row call button. We're gonna use button in a second, so I'm gonna leave it. So we don't need, let's have a look at this. we have this, all of this, col for, small for, MD and so on. I just want to leave this one, MD. So I'm gonna get rid of this row. And by the way, if you are not familiar with grid, please do check our other video, our crash tutorial on Bootstrap grid, because that's definitely gonna make your life easier. So I'm removing rows, which we don't need, so I'm gonna leave just the last one. I'm gonna remove this one as well, because I want to have 2 columns, and I want to have this size 5 and 7. If you remember, they should sum up to 12. So 5 plus 7, that gives us 12, and then we have this 5 and a 7. So this is what it is. If I shrink the screen, boom, our navbar becomes responsive, and this one goes one below the other. If I expand, then they go next to each other, and this is 5, this is 7, so this is wider than this one. So let's start filling this with content. Let's go to hover effects. Yeah, this is the hover effect. So we have image with a hover. So let's copy this one, or actually, you know what? No, let me just get this MDB ripple, and let's put it this here. And we need to also ripple from React. So let's save it. Now we have also this ripple effect. We're gonna talk about it in a second, but I see that we have this style over here, which is basically changing the size of this image. Now it's taking the full 5 width, so this is filling the entire column. We have this ripple. So now let's jump on to ripple docs. So this is an element which is known from material design, and they use it a lot in different places, because this helps you to kind of realize that you clicked and where you clicked. So you can use it on different elements. You can change colors, like primary, secondary, success, right? So we have this success, for example. Let's change this color over here, where it is. Our ripple color, success. Let's refresh, and now it's green. So let's get it back to light, and let's add some content here, and then we're gonna work on the spacing, because this is too close to each other. So on the right side, let's just do something like this. H1, my page title. Now P, I have actually prepared this paragraph here. I want to have 2 of them, and in between I want to put some line, actually self-closing. Let's see how it works. Okay, and now let's work on the spacing, because it's too close to each other. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use spacing utilities. So if you search for spacing, by the way, I'm using search because I know them by heart, but I strongly encourage you to just browse different components and forms, navigation, so basically menu on the left. Okay, spacing, again, Bootstrap allows you to easily add margin and padding, and you can do it on different directions. So you can have top, bottom, start, end, so basically right and left, depending whether it's like right to left or left to right for the Arabic countries. X and Y axes, so if you do X, it's gonna get from left and right. Y, we're gonna do top and the bottom. So let me show you the example. So for the main component, let's ask class my, so it's like top and the bottom 5, which is gonna give us a nice space in between here and there. So if we're gonna add footer later on, it's also gonna give some space in between. Now let's add some margin to margin bottom 4 and class margin y3. Yeah, and now it looks much better. Let's continue adding components. So let's move to buttons now, and let's use this primary button. So I want to have this one primary over here, and I want to have this outline as well. So this is the one. Here they are. We need to add some classes. So let's add this one. margin and 2, for example. Okay, and now let's add some icons. So icons, MDB comes with more than 1500 font awesome icons. You can search all of them, you can browse them. So for example, the shipping cart, here you got the code. So just copy this one and paste it over here. Let's change this to something like buy now. And we need to import MDB icon from a library. So now we have icon. Let's add some spacing, margin and 2. Cool, now it's look really nice. So let's add some content below now. I'm gonna reuse, I'm gonna add another row and column. So I want to have another row here. Let's close this column and let's close this row. Oops, I messed it up. Hold on. So this is row, call, okay, and now a row. Great, and this is size of 4. I want to have, we don't need this class example, so let me just get rid of all of them. And now I want to have 3 columns here. Again, size of 12 divided by 3, that gives me 4. So I want to have 3 columns next to each other. And let's add something into it. Cards. Plenty of options. Just check all of them. Horizontal cards, e-commerce cards, whatever you want. I'm gonna stick to some basic example. So let's say again with the ripple. So copy this one and paste it over here. I'm doing the multi-cursor now. So if I press enter, I'm gonna do enter in 3 lines. If I start typing something, I'm typing simultaneously in 3 lines. Just paste it. Whoops, not. I copied too much. I copied the entire file. I want to just a card. So let me paste the card now. Let me remove this style to limit this. And let's get this MDB card, card body, title, text, image. And let's add this one to our import statement. I got some error here. So let's see, 89. MDB call. Okay, I messed up. I wanted to remove. I wanted to remove just this style, and I removed the entire tag accidentally. So I want to get rid of this one because it's limiting my width. So I'm removing this from 3 cards, all of them. Okay. And now we have these 3 cards over here. Maybe we should use some more spacing here. So I'm gonna go to the first row and change this one to 5 to have more spacing. Yeah, now it's better. Now let me quickly update these images. So let's use number 112, 13. Yeah, and now it looks much better. Finally, let's use footer. So search for footer. Again, multiple examples, whichever you like. You can just use our base and customize it. I'm gonna go with the simple one. So let's copy this one. Let's create a new file, footer JSX. Let's paste it. And let's import this in our app. So this is the one. We have header. Now we want to have footer. Let's have header down below main. Switch it to a footer. And voila. Our footer is here. And something stopped working. Why? Oh, I put the space here. Now it's working fine. We have footer. over here. So our page is more or less ready. Obviously we could do much more, we could work on that, we could add different sections, but that's not what this tutorial is about. Finally, I think we can do one more thing. Let's add some class to our body, and our body is somewhere here. Class BG light. So we're gonna add some, we're gonna change background color slightly, so that's gonna give us a better contrast between our images and the background. Okay, so I hope you find it easy to build websites with MDB5, but let me show you the best part. So once your project is ready, what you have to do in order to publish it to web is just simply type MDB publish and hit enter. So now CLI is gonna build your project and upload it to MDB Go servers absolutely for free, so you don't have to care actually about anything. So let's wait just a couple of seconds for building. Now it's uploading, and now our page is ready at this URL, and it's deployed, it's working fine, and it's totally secured with SSL, and it's working like a charm. As you can see, it took us like, what, a few seconds. And if you go to mdbgo.com, log in and go to your dashboard, to your projects, you're gonna see all your projects databases, because you can also get your free database for your project, so you can have like totally front-end and back-end app built with MDB Go. If you go to projects, look for the last one. So this is the one which I built. Click on the manage. You can do multiple things here. You can create a repository so you can collaborate with others. You can change the address of your page. You can use your our free domain with this mdbgo.io domain, or you can set up your own domain. So if you have domain like mydomain.com, you can also set it up. You need to change the A record, put it to this target location, and this will start working. So your page will be available at this domain. So I hope you find it easy to work with MDB. I hope you enjoy MDB CLI, which makes it easier to initialize and publish project. You can create a database with use of it, and many more. So if you want to learn more about it, just check our other videos. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask us. Yeah, thank you for watching, and keep coding.